it's time to fix the tractor. She primarily needs her gas tank cleaned out, a new carburetor, and an oil change, which we've actually never done for her. So we should have done this last week so that we could have the field plowed and our plants in the ground yesterday, but we're procrastinators, so that didn't happen. But hopefully it'll be a blessing in disguise because it's been raining a lot in the past week, so we're hoping, praying, that it will make the ground soft and plowable because it's old pasture and it's never been plowed before, so we'll see how it goes. So let's get to it. Alright, so this is the first thing we have to do. We have to uncover the tractor so that we can get down to the bolts so we can start getting to work.
Yeah, I got mine. Hey, look, there's an engine.
And then we have to clear it off because it's disgusting.
Yeah, that'll catch fire.
So now we're removing the gas tank. We had to get all the bolts out and the line unattached. And here we forgot to undo the gas line, so we gotta pause for a second so Dad can do that. And the next thing we're gonna do is remove the sediment bowl, which is a glass bowl at the bottom, which catches all of the nasty stuff that ends up in the gas tank, so that we can clean it and the gas tank out. So the bowl is nasty, there's a lot of junk in it, and we decided we need to dispose of it in a very environmentally friendly way. Fire! So now we're removing the setting and the valve for the sediment bowl. And once we get that out, we're going to wire brush the outside of the gas tank and clean that off a little bit. And we're not going to forget our camera. So it didn't really look all that different when we finished, but it really needs a paint job for that to happen, so just trust me, it was cleaner after I was done. So then we put the valve back into the bottom of the tank with some thread tape on it to seal it, and then we got out our rust remover, so we're going to fill the tank with that and let it sit for about 24 hours so that it can work its magic and clean all of the rust out of the tank. So once Dad was properly hydrated, we put the tank in the barn and left it to sit. Then we took a quick intermission to throw the frisbee for the dogs. And she drops it. Okay, so next up is the oil filter. This is all the nasty oil and water that was sitting in the bottom of the pan. Next step was to remove the oil filter from the tractor so that we could clean that out. The bolt was stuck on there pretty good, so I had to climb up on the tractor so that I could get the right leverage. It's all about leverage, kids. So we got the oil filter off the tractor, and then we determined that no store in the area had the oil filter that we needed to replace this one due to the current state of affairs. So we just cleaned this one off and put it back on the tractor. Tight. Tight. Pay close attention to the story, it's important for later.
I borrowed a Sharpie from Clem today. It was not 15 seconds before I lost the cap. And it wasn't like it rolled under a table. I just totally blanked out, took the cap, swallowed it or something, and I looked for it for 20 minutes, couldn't find it.
Okay, back to the regularly scheduled video. Now we're taking off the carburetor, so we have to get rid of all of the bolts and pins keeping it in place. Multitasking.
Yeah, see, now you can get it. Just pull that out. There you go. Ta-da! I'll present to thee. Oops. It's happy to see you.
So that's the old one, this is the new one, and all we have to do is put it right back on the tractor. No muss, no fuss. So this is us doing things backwards, because that's just how we roll, cleaning off the dirt above the carburetor after we've already attached it.
Right here.
So that's it for the carburetor, and we'll get back to the gas tank. Who's gonna catch it?
Oh.
So it's a new day. I am cleaning out the sediment bowl while Taylor enjoys the sunshine in the background. We can actually see through this, sort of. Okay, wait.
Hey!
Okay. We're now pouring the rust remover back into the bottles so that we can use it later. Maybe, again, possibly, I don't know. Yay, clean tank. Woohoo. So this is my poor attempt at cutting a gasket for the sediment bowl. It didn't work, but we'll see that in a minute. Here I am putting everything back together, and then I'm going to put it back on the tractor, and then we're going to test it out and see that we did put it back together correctly. Alright, gas tank back on. Yep.
It leaks.
So it leaks. We did not cut the gasket correctly, it was too big, and because of that it didn't seal properly. So we're gonna have to cut a new gasket that is the right size.
Just working really hard to make beautiful gaskets.
So now we're back to the oil. We're emptying out the old oil, which is all black and nasty, so that we can put in fresh new oil. Real talk, guys, if you let your dad help you fix your tractor, you have to keep a very close eye on him. It's the Sharpie cap all over again. There's supposed to be a bolt right here that keeps the oil from leaking out, and Dad swallowed it. I'm kidding, obviously I would have no idea what I'm doing if it wasn't for my dad. So we put the bolt in the bottom of the tractor, which was the bolt that I was in charge of, so we didn't lose it, and then we put fresh oil in it. And now we're gonna start it up. So here the problems began. The bolt that we found to replace the one we lost was not the right thread. Tried to tighten it up a little bit and it only sort of worked, but we just decided that it was only dripping a little bit and it was enough that we could just roll with it. So we figured we would look for a replacement later. So with the tractor running well enough, we decided it was time to put everything back on and give it a shot. So all that's left to do is put the pins on the plow and then the plow on the tractor, and then we're going to take it and see if it'll plow. Alright, so that's the last little bit. Now we're going to take the tractor up to the field and see how it does.
Look at that.
So don't give us a hard time about our plowing. It's hard and I've never done it and it's been forever since he's done it, so we'll fix it.
Okay.
First gear. There you go. Oh, now keep your nose pointed in the right direction. Go ahead and drop your plow. You can use your brake. Just the left brake. Other one, other brake. Good, good. Come on, tractor, stop that.
So that's it for episode 2 of Firebird Farm. We fixed a couple of things, we only broke one thing, and we only have a couple more things to do. We need to calibrate the governor, which is what's making Birdie cough, and then we need to... Go away, wasp. Then we need to find a bolt that's the right size and thread to replace the one we lost so that it won't leak, and then we need to keep plowing. The dirt needs to dry out, and then we need to go at it with a tiller, so we need to get one of those. So the next step is to find a tiller and turn those mounds of dirt into a field that we can actually plant in. So that's the plan. We'll see you next time. Bye.